She is, I like to consider this lady the Jill of our trades when it comes to Lexington, Kentucky. You know her for Greenhouse 17. You know her as a real estate agent. And I know her on a more fun level. She was the captain, the dodgeball team captain, the Goonies for the Dodgeball tournament. And I'm so excited to be joined with Miss Liz Davenport. She is with me right now. Good evening, Liz.
Good evening, Kenny. Thank you guys for having me tonight. This is so exciting.
I'm excited, and thank you so much for your time, especially as we
Definitely.
approach the holiday. And you know what I want to do before I get to the first question.
Okay.
You are very upbeat, very very upbeat. You know, living enjoying life. I want to read the post that you made on Facebook earlier today. Uh,
Oh my goodness.
yes,
Okay.
I got to
Let's
read
hope
it.
it's a good one.
It's a good one. It pertains to this
Okay.
show. So this is what Liz Davenport posted on Facebook as of 8 hours ago. And I quote, if you have read all the instruction manuals in your house and did all your holiday gifts and regarded your bathroom and still looking for something to do, tune in to 8 p.m. tonight to hear me live. Oh, Kenny has no idea what he has unleashed. Chatting about all my jobs and what I do. Oh, and this is my favorite part at the end. Hashtag
Okay.
please don't let me curse. Hashtag or snort laugh. That is the post from Miss Liz Davenport earlier this particular Saturday. I had to do it. I had to do it. Um,
Had to.
yes, and what?
Yeah. As long as I don't curse, we're good to go. The whole show's gonna be just
Well,
fine.
well, I do want to say that there is no FCC airwaves, so you okay in that regard.
Ooh, good to
So
know.
yeah, so no FCC airwaves here on TMV Cafe. So where do I begin? Like you're a real estate agent, you work for Greenhouse 17. We can talk the
Yes.
dodgeball experiment, but I want to
Yes.
focus on the serious side of things. Greenhouse 17. Talk about your involvement with Greenhouse 17 and what's Greenhouse 17 all about.
Certainly. I'm actually, it's very funny. I am right now in a men's restroom because I'm at the Opera House downtown where we were invited to speak at the SCAPA's presentation of Oliver tonight because the play Oliver touches on some domestic violence issues. And so last minute I came down here to represent. And so now I find the quiet place I can, and the only place I can find is the guys' restroom. So I'm standing right here in the men's restroom. But we are actually a domestic violence program based in Lexington. We cover 17 counties with care. We have a 32 bed shelter, but we have 40 women and children in shelter tonight in rural Lexington, and we are on a 40-acre farm. So we are basically just a domestic violence program that outreaches to all the rural counties within about a 1 hour radius of us.
I want to give a huge shout out to
Certainly.
Greenhouse 17 for their contribution in helping out victims of domestic violence. It's definitely a big deal, not just here in Kentucky, but in the entire world. And people wonder after going through that experience what to do, where to go to, who to turn to. And then you have a company
Hmm.
like Greenhouse 17 that's encouraging and that's want to help you go move forward. It's
Yeah,
and that's definitely the most difficult thing for any victim to go through. So I want to say,
most definitely. And
I,
we're
and I just want to say kudos to you, Liz, and the rest of Greenhouse 17 for your contributions.
Thank you so much. That's one of our biggest things is just getting our name out there because you never know who you're going to talk to that says they're in a situation like this or they know someone. 1 in 3 women in the United States experience violence in her lifetime. And so it's not your family, if it's not your friends, it's somebody you know. And if you don't know someplace to tell them to go to get help, then they're kind of at a loss. And so if you have this this name in the back of your head, Greenhouse 17, it'll remind you that, there's a safe place for them to call. We have a crisis hotline that's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, manned by staff that are very good at what they do, and they can help get safe plans of action into place. They can help give advice. We actually, in all of our 17 counties, we do everything from financial advocacy to education. We're in every court in 17 counties, so we walk every step with a survivor of domestic violence, from the time that they contact us and come into contact with us until the time that they are safe and back into their lives again.
Absolutely well said. And to all the victims out there, you don't have to deal with this alone. There's always people that are willing to help. There's people willing to give you what you need. So go to Greenhouse 17, check them out on Facebook, their website,
Mm-hmm.
all the info is there. And I first heard of Greenhouse 17 because they have been involved with the Lexi Fest shows, courtesy of the Lexington Music Awards. And the first
Yeah.
time I met you was at the Lexi Fest at Proud Mary's Barbecue, and I gotta say the products, the soap was
Mm-hmm.
lovely. The smell of it was
We
lovely.
we love our soaps, and we actually produce these on our farm. They're made by survivors. They're sold by survivors. They're actually able to give stipends back to our residents, so they can actually make a little money. And it's also giving back to our community. A lot of nonprofits and charities, they just ask and ask and ask, and we have to ask. I mean, there's no way that we could do this any other way. But for us to be able to produce something that gives back to the community, so that we can sell something and have some pride in that. And we're also mimicking the financial responsibility that we teach our survivors. Financial resources are the number one reason why a lot of times a victim stays in a relationship. If you've got 4 kids and you've got no education and no potential of a job, you're going to have a tendency to stay in a bad relationship a lot longer. So we want to teach that financial responsibility. And how can we do that as an agency if we continue just to ask for help? So if we're producing something, putting it out in the community, we're able to get a little money for us, to keep our agency afloat. We'll no way be in the black from this. I mean, we're a $1.4 million program, and we need lots of help. But this is a little thing. We do this, and of course we sell our flowers too. On our farm, we have 6 hoop houses. We farm about an acre and a half, and we sell our flowers in flower CSAs, which is basically like a farm CSA when you get a bucket of vegetable produce from your local farmer for a small price each month. We actually sell our flowers starting in June through September. Each week you get a beautiful bouquet grown by survivors on our farm, put together in a gorgeous arrangement, and it goes all the way through September. It's $200 for our flower CFA, and it helps support survivors, which is an amazing thing. And you get flowers, which is gorgeous too. And then our bath stuff, our soaps, lip balms, body available on Etsy. And we just got approval. I'm so happy about this. This last week, I went into our first retail stores. So Back for More Salon in Hamburg. They're carrying us now. I believe that Posh Salon will be carrying us. And there's one in Manchester District, the Distillery District, a store there that's going to be carrying our products too. So we're starting to branch out and get in the community even more, which is an amazing thing.
That is awesome. So again, greenhouse17.org is the website
Mm-hmm.
for all the details, all the info. They on Facebook as well. And, you know, you can donate. You can buy the flowers, buy the purchase, buy the soap. Um, anything helps.
Yes.
And it shows to survivors out there that there is hope in their lives and just
And that
uh,
people care.
yes,
Yes, most
yes.
definitely.
Now you are a sports fan. I'm a sports fan as well, and to there is an individual who I consider a despicable human being. I'm sure you heard his name by now if you keep up with football, named Greg Hardy.
Mm-hmm.
He has a history of
Yes.
domestic violence, and a guy and what he did, and then there's the photos of his ex-girlfriend. And clearly, he's given a second chance. And I get it. This is America. We some people are entitled to second chances, but he's shown that he's not making the most of his second chance with being remorse, being real sorry, sympathetic for what he's done. Um, what's your take on those type of people that shows no remorse, that shows no sympathy towards uh, the victims that they done to?
That's a really difficult question, and it's come up quite a bit. The NFL right now is dealing with quite a bit of this. And I was reading an article the other day that there's some kind of correlation, they believe, between all the concussions that happen during football, and there's a brain injury that happens, and it can cause violence to be a part of that. I think it's a hard stance to say never give another chance. But I think the best thing to do is to look towards the survivors and look towards those victims and supporting them. Let the law do their work. Let justice do their work. But support these survivors and these victims. They feel very much alone. It's very shameful to them, and especially if you have a high-profile abuser, you're left in a very, very difficult situation. So I think the most important thing is to just really concentrate on these victims and survivors and just be there for them and let them know that we as a community care for them and that, their voice is not lost. They can tell their story, that we're going to be there to support them the whole way.
Completely understand. And, it's just, the fact that I felt bad for the lady. I really do. And people, she been through a lot of emotional stress, and then, things fell apart with her case. She didn't want to continue, I guess, because of what he may do or how he may react or whatever. It's very unfortunate, and as you point out at the end, it's about these survivors and just having to move forward, and I pray she's able to do so, and I guess karma will get Craig Hardy some other time, but the victims, they gotta do what they gotta do. Um,
Yeah.
on to a light note, um, to be a little more positive, on a more positive note, if you will.
Yes.
We did Dosh Lex, in the summer,
Yes.
And you was looking for people on your team, and dodgeball was a childhood game favorite of mine growing up, and and when I saw your post, I was like, that's something I need to get on with this. I need to relive my child days.
Dodgeball's fun.
So I need to relive it, and more importantly, it's all for good causes. So I'm proud to say that you to be a Goonie, and what was
Appreciate you. Luckily, you're a big guy, so I could stand behind you and not get hit by the balls. I was very happy about that.
Yeah, and shout out to your daughter Rue, who had a birthday recently. She called me a beast.
Yes.
That is encouraging, considering how we played on that tournament. I tried, and we more importantly, it was fun. It was all for good cause, and I can't wait next year. I'm already, we definitely.
You will be all in. You're going to be definitely on my team. There's no way I'm going to do it without you.
Okay, I'm Goonie by default, so
there you go.
that was a lot of fun. I also hear that you do some real estate work as well. For any future clients out there that wants your work, why should people choose you to pursue real estate? What makes you different from the rest of real estate all over Lexington?
Well, I think, like you started out saying, my energy. Somehow I run like an Energizer bunny all the time. I am definitely going to be the one out there hustling to make sure that you get the absolute best deal you can get. And I'm also the one that has a really large network, basically work two jobs, and I run my own nonprofit. When you do that, you reach a whole lot of people. So a lot of times I'll have a buyer for my seller before they even put it in the market. And a lot of times I know exactly what buyers are going to want because I've lived in Lexington my whole life too. I'm a native here. And I know the town, I know the school systems, I know what areas that you're going to want to be in. And so I think I just have the asset of I am going to work the hardest I can for you from the moment that I'm yours until way after the fact. I stay friends with all my clients too. And so I go to their houses afterwards and they refer me quite a bit, which that speaks a whole lot, I think.
I'm convinced. If I ever need some, I'm convinced. You got me. You sell the heck out of,
Buy a house for
you
me.
know, buy a house from Liz Davenport. You
There you
won't
go.
disappoint. Um,
No, you will
yeah.
not.
So you mentioned what are some other jobs that you do other than Greenhouse 17 and being in real estate? What else do you do? It seems like you
What else?
dodgeball, you dodgeballing, you Greenhouse 17 work, real estate. What else Liz Davenport do? What else she do?
I am, let's see. Well, my biggest thing is I run a nonprofit with a friend of mine, Rachel Crabtree, and we run a nonprofit called A Running Start. And we work with people working through homelessness and addictions to use running, because I'm a runner, she is as well, in their lives to kind of build up self-esteem, to build up self-reliance again, and to kind of get people back on their feet. We believe that running means more than just getting out there and getting exercise. It builds back pride when you've lost everything and you've gone to jail and your family's disappointed, or you've worked through addictions your whole life. You feel ashamed and you feel like you're not worthy sometimes. And so a lot of times people associate the word runner with somebody who's dedicated, somebody who shows up, somebody gets it done. When you say I'm a half marathon, they think, they've accomplished something, they've finished something. And so people who have struggled through life and had these stumbles, they want too. And we've taken, we did 4 guys the first year, took them through a half marathon training and ran Run the Bluegrass, which is in the springtime, a great half marathon if you're going to run one. And we trained 2 guys to run the 7-miler. And one of the guys that we had go through there, his family had not been supportive of him during his recovery, had not shown up for family days, not been there because they'd seen him go through so many of these things, and he disappointed. And so this time they showed up. They showed up to this race with little signs with his name on it and T-shirts, and because they could see him cross a finish line and finish something. And it was an amazing moment. I mean, we were all, I always say I'm a kid and I don't cry, but a little bit there. There was a little moment there, and we've seen how that builds. And so we're hoping. We've been at Crystal's house, we've been at Center, we've been at Lighthouse Ministry. We're starting back at the Hope Center hopefully in the next 2 weeks or so with the gentleman there, so we can get them out running too and see what it does in their lives. So I'm not busy at all.
I told you she can do just about anything. We're not gonna call you. We're not gonna call you a Jill of all trades. We're gonna call you a Liz of all trades. Cause you're a superwoman. You're a superwoman. I'm telling you.
Superwoman. That's exactly right.
Yes.
And then I've got 2 little girls. I've got a 15-year-old and a 9-year-old who are absolutely wonderful. And I call them the 2 halves of my heart. And I hashtag everything 2 halves of my heart. And that's exactly what it feels like. Is a single mom, I've got these 2 little girls walking around, and that feels like 2 halves of your heart walking around on the outside of your body. And, that's my number one priority. That's my number one job, is being a mom. The rest of it all comes in behind that. And, they're there at my job. They're there supporting me. They're there with at the shelter. They're running with folks. It's great to bring them into it, but that's my number one job.
Absolutely. Shout out to the daughters. I've seen Rue. I haven't seen the other one. So
Yep.
I guess I'll see her some other time. Well,
Yes.
Liz, so awesome to chat with you. Thank you so much for your time. You're not just a hard worker. You're an inspiration. You're a role model. And I'm so fortunate to consider you a friend. And thank you, thank you for your time. And I guess if I see you before years end, and I'll definitely see. I'll definitely listen to music awards.
That's exactly right.
Yes.
Come out to that. That's an amazing McLean.
Shout out to Dave for sure, and I want to thank you for nominating me for Best Radio DJ. I truly appreciate it.
Of course.
And
Well deserved.
and please help a brother out. The nominations, the ballot, I should say, has been extended to November 28th. So support your local artists and help a brother out. Nominate me for Best Radio DJ. Just thought I'd put that out
He
there.
deserves it.
So Liz, thank
Yep.
you for your time. Continued success, and
Thank you.
you have a good night.
Thank you, Kenny. Thank you guys so much. I had a great time.
All right. Good night. Happy Thanksgiving weekend to you too.
You and everybody out there. Happy Thanksgiving.
All right. Bye-bye.